Mary, you ready? Ready?
Yes.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Co-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press on December 13, 2023, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building. Take roll call. Councilwoman Kinney? Sorry, I skipped you. Councilwoman Donovan?
This is 3 times. Here.
Councilwoman Kinney?
I am here as well.
Lesko?
Here.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Here.
And Councilman Levis is absent.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, their families, and our first responders, and also for Belmar resident Mike O'Connell, who was in a horrific accident in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you. Okay, workshop. Does anyone have anything they'd like to bring up at workshop?
Mayor, I just wanted to follow up, and maybe our business administrator or our engineer knows better. I just wanted to follow up with the 12th and Main property and what the geoprobe results to measure the extent of the contamination was.
Councilwoman, I don't have an update other than to say that the work is ongoing. We're expecting the results back, I believe, within 2 to 3 days. So once we have those, we'll be able to share that with council and with administration.
I'm quite concerned that the remediation may exceed the amount allotted for. I know that it was a Zoom meeting, I guess it was 2022. I remember Mayor Walsoper at the time being asked by a resident what would happen if it did exceed the estimated cost.
I asked that.
He said it would be worked into the contract so that the seller would pay anything that is over. Is that true? George, do you know whether that is
I'm
true?
going to look at the contract documents again to answer that question, but I don't believe that there's any provision in the contract that would provide for any expenses over the amount allotted for escrow.
And that's the $300,000 that's allotted in escrow. Okay, I feel like the residents were misled with this purchase. I just want to say I'm quite frustrated.
I'll get back with a definitive answer, but that's what I believe the documents say.
And some of that escrow has been drawn down on due to work that's already been done, professional fees and so on. So, but generally, in my experience, when you have an escrow amount, once you exceed the escrow, then it's, the money's just gone. And the property owner bears the result. But I'm sure council will take a look at it for us.
I mean,
Let us know.
we're not, I just want to make sure that I'm right about this. Are we even allowed to sell it if the contamination or remediation monitoring is continuous?
You can sell it, yeah, subject to the remediation.
And then what about digging and building something, like for our EMS, like it was meant for? Are we able to do that even at this point? Or do we need to make sure all of this testing and continuing to clean it up occurs prior?
Yeah, it'll have to get the go-ahead from the LSRP.
So this could still be years in the process?
Excuse me?
Could this still be years in the process?
It's beyond my abilities to say how long a remediation may go on for.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just where we're at exactly now is the area that they thought needed to be remediated. They excavated the dirt, put new dirt in it, but in the testing process during that removal period, there were some elevations that exceeded the levels. The situation now is they're up against the sidewalk. They're up against the concrete between the building the sidewalk on Main and the sidewalk on 12th. Instead of just tearing that up and keep digging, what they did was called a geoprobe, where they're gonna do core samples to go down to see exactly what the status is with the contaminants in those areas. And then that's the, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but that's the report we're gonna be getting back from the LSRP, Kevin Stadel, showing these geoprobes and what the extent of the contamination is in this extended area.
That is correct.
Okay.
Any other workshop issues? Okay, not having any more issues, let's go on to petitions.
Mayor, I did not receive any petitions. Next would be approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 8th, 2024 meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Okay, reports of council, Councilwoman Donovan.
I hope everyone noticed the really cool scarecrows we have up and down Main Street. Those are put out by Belmar businesses. It is a contest actually, and you can vote for your favorite ones. Through October 30th, we will be announcing the winner on Halloween, and you can vote for your favorites at bit.ly/Belmar Scarecrow. That's bit.ly/Belmar Scarecrow. Trunk or Treat is Friday the 25th. It is in that new location, but we welcome all trick-or-treaters, and I believe the council will be having their own trunk or treat. The Chamber of Commerce Fall Fest is the 27th, and they will feature a classic car show, pet costume parade, live music, and vendors. It will take place between 8th and 10th, including Piano Plaza, so please come out for that. From the Environmental Commission, Patchwork for Wildlife is coming to Belmar. They will be offering native plants to homeowners who want to participate, so please follow along for more information on that program. They asked me to again reiterate our plea for geese mitigation services to be included in the upcoming budget. So we have gotten incredibly great feedback from residents on the success of that program, so everyone is really excited about that. The last Harbor Commission meeting actually has to be rescheduled, but we are working to finalize our recommendations to bring to council for the 2025 rates. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kinney.
Thank you, Mayor. Back to trunk or treat, we still are accepting cars. If you want to register, reach out to Barry at Recreation. Starts at 5 p.m. on Friday. A couple more things around recreation. Winter basketball signups for boys and girls 2nd to 4th and 5th and 8th happening now. Clinics start early December and games are starting in January. Signups end December 15th. Kindergarten through 1st grade clinics are starting November 9th for basketball. Signups are on November 10th. Belmar Youth Club signups are happening now. 2 sessions, one for grades 3rd through 5th from 5 to 6:30, and one from 6th to 8th graders from 7 to 8:30. And we are happy to announce that Marina Mabry, who played in our Belmar Recreation program, basketball program for years, and currently plays for the WNBA Connecticut Mystics, has sponsored the entire basketball program for the season. So that's really exciting. All the teams, we still have to pay, parents still have to pay for registration fees, but she is sponsoring all the teams, which is really, really great. The Beach Music Kids Rock Band is playing this Saturday, 12:30 at Jack's by the Tracks. So that's this Saturday, October 26th at 12:30. And we already talked about that. And let's see, a couple things around the schools. So I was able to attend, I think a couple other people here too were able to attend Conversation, which is the presentation that the Belmar Elementary School did on cell phone usage and addiction to cell phone usage. It was a wonderful program. I thought it was really informative. They're implementing the program in Belmar Elementary. I actually passed this along to St. Louis Grammar School because I just thought it was a good program. So that's kind of an exciting thing happening. Belmar Elementary has their annual lip sync show October 29th. Parent-teacher conferences are November 4th to 6th, and Belmar School is closed for teacher convention on November 7th and 8th. St. Rose High School is doing their annual clothing drive Saturday, November 9th. It's at the Red Brick Building from 8 to 10 a.m. Please clean out your closets, drop off your blankets, they'll even take stuffed animals, so please do drop everything off. And the last thing I have is St. Rose Grammar School has their parent-teacher conferences, half days, October 30th to November 1st. Last thing, with Cleary Park, Billy, I wanted you to just follow up about that. There was some complaints about cleaning up, and because it's a state road, what did you find out about that, about the grass and the cutting of the hedges?
Well, the property and the vegetation is all the responsibility of the state. So I reached out to the state. They put it on their list of properties to take care of. They said they're going to get to it as soon as they can. In the meantime, we're just monitoring it for litter. And actually, the chief is trying to get the Boy Scouts to do a park cleanup there as well. So.
Sounds excellent. Okay, good news. Thank you so much. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman Kinney. Councilwoman Rondinaro.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I wanted to personally express my heartfelt condolences to all who knew and loved Mike O'Connell. He was a wonderful, kind person, an active resident, and I know he'll be very missed. So I hope we could do something in his memory in the coming months. Yesterday, the Belmar Public Library had its Board of Trustees meeting. It was an exciting meeting as the board approved their strategic plan for 2025 and the following 3 years. This will act as a roadmap for attaining the library's short, midterm, and long-term goals. Our first goal includes capital improvements, bringing the library into ADA compliance, making sure that we have ramps, a door in front, a door that actually is wheelchair accessible, and also an ADA accessible bathroom. They'd also like to add a staff bathroom and improve the fire egress, lighting, and general maintenance of the building. Goal 2 is to improve the technology available. So this is security and infrastructure of our technology, increased training, and support to provide patrons better access to our tools, updating software, expanding IT support, and improving the website. Goal 3 is outreach, enhancing and expanding the in-person and remote experience through staff and outreach to increase awareness of our services, with emphasis on engaging the hard-to-reach communities. And our fourth goal is collection development, enhancing and expanding the print and digital library collections. The strategic planning committee worked really hard on this, and I'm proud that between them and the library board, we were able to pass that. I'm excited for what's to come for the library. There is still chimney repair needing to be done. I know the mayor was able to use my, thank you for reading my notes on that last meeting, but we are awaiting delivery for new piping and also a new flashing to prevent flooding. Meanwhile, the library is open and safe to patrons. It's a buzz with events. Tonight is a Medicare workshop. There's an author time with Dr. Paul Wukansky with Yes I Can this Saturday, 11 a.m., Taylor Pavilion. October 29th from 3 to 7 is the Fall Children's and Young Adults Book Fair. So I think this is the first time that we've had the Children and Young Adults Book Fair, at least in a while. So that is from 3 to 7, October 23rd. October 30th, we've got Children's Halloween Movie Night. And then mark your calendar, November 2nd, Penguins, November 9th. November 2nd, Wolves, November 9th, Penguins. And then our Diwali celebration is November 7th at 6 p.m. at the Taylor Pavilion, and the food will be ordered from our new Belmar establishment, Indian Garden. If you haven't gone there yet, I highly recommend it. It's delicious. The borough is still awaiting the community fund grant application. We haven't received it yet from HUD, as Belmar is officially the recipient. That funding will go straight to the Belmar Housing Authority, and we're just waiting for that to come in. And then April, Doug from Millennium Strategies and I will take a look at it, make sure it comes right back, so that we can get that funding to the people over there for the facade of the building. And very lastly, and I'm sorry for the long report, I had a meeting with Tom and Jillian from Wingman Printing with John Walsh today to set up our veteran banners for this year. I spoke to Billy, thank you very much. DPW will be putting up the ones that we have already from last year, probably sooner, probably toward the end of the month, and then we should be getting the new ones on the 30th, and there's 22 new ones. This year we'll have the Belmar Historical Society actually sponsored banners for the 4 Belmar Navy sailors lost in battle. When the USS Juneau was torpedoed during the Battle of Guadalcanal, and that was November 13th, 1942. So they'll have their banners. And the Belmar Women's Club actually sponsored a banner for active duty Major General Lisa Ho, serving with the National Guard. I continue to be really proud of this banner initiative and thank the Mayor and Council and the borough employees for supporting me with this meaningful project for our hometown heroes. Thank you.
Thank you. Believe it or not, I have something I'm going to mention in the report. April sent me and Kevin a note that we received at info@belmar.com, and it's from a person, her name is Ann Noble, about her visit to Belmar. And I'm just going to, it's only a few paragraphs, I'm going to take a quick read of it. It says, hello. I just wanted to say what a fabulous welcome my daughter and I had in Belmar a few weeks ago. Thank you. We were touring a few places in the USA. We're from Scotland, and had decided to make a side trip on the way to New York to visit Asbury Park and then Belmar, as we are Bruce Springsteen fans. I was a little concerned that locals in Belmar would be fed up with Springsteen fans. Obviously, she doesn't know, Belmar. But anyway, I have to say we couldn't have been made more welcome. People offered us directions without being asked, offered to take photos of us outside the Belmar Library next to the guitar on the Belmar Treasure Trail, and chatted with us. Special mention to George, we all know George, who we gather is known as Mr. Belmar, and the staff at Sweet Teas. It was a lovely visit, and we're just sorry we didn't have more time. If the USA has a best town competition, then you deserve to win. With the very best wishes, Ann. So, amongst all the letters we get, it is nice to get something from someone, especially out of the country. So, thanks to all the residents who interfaced with Ann and her family. That's all I have.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
I guess we're moving on to the public session.
Yes, if anyone has a comment or question about a resolution listed on the consent agenda, please step forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second?
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilman Rondinero?
Yes.
We have no ordinances, so we're on to public session. Anyone like to speak? Just please remember to state your name and address first.
Linda Sharkis, 4th Avenue. The loss of Mike has opened up an area that we should consider. On Route 35, we have a problem with people, residents crossing 35 to go over to Marina Grill. As we work to develop that property between 8th and 10th, the problem will be exacerbated. I would like to see maybe we could get a grant to build a bridge across 35 because it's very unsafe, and the light changes in the crosswalk before you could get across the street. So those who are more advanced in age have a problem making it across without being caught in between traffic. So we talk about this would be one of the nicest things we could do for Mike, is to create a bridge in his honor. Thank you.
I think that's a good idea. Obviously, we'd have to work with the state of New Jersey Department of Transportation because they control the road, but it's definitely something that we would be worth looking into.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for bringing that up. think that's nice.
Anyone else like to comment?
Tom Walker, 527 8th Avenue, Belmar. I've been listening to the procedures as far as getting the financial support to fix the situation at the senior building. And it sounds, and I'm only up here speaking to back up Maria and the work she's trying to do to shake it loose. But it's like a comedy of errors. I mean, you send you a check that's got Belmar on it, and somebody didn't realize that the senior building is in Belmar, and that is slowing the whole process down, so that somebody's still liable to get hurt there. And what I'm asking is, Mayor, and also Kevin, if you can add your muscle to her muscle, I would hope that you could and speed up the process. I think we've waited, those people have waited long enough. Thank you.
Thank you. We could certainly look into that. I know, I read something recently though, there are certain steps that have to be followed in the protocol. So, I mean, we'll make sure that those steps are being followed and moved along.
Absolutely, I think we're waiting on the application, as I spoke to April today about it, that we're still waiting for that application to come to us, so we can get it to our grant writers, to go back out, but it's longer than anticipated for sure. I do think that the recipient, is the borough itself, that is pretty standard for these grants, because they're going to the community, their community funding. So as much as that money is allocated and will be allocated for the BHA, I think that the same goes with Wall when they had their community funding grant, that it went to Wall Township. Just like this one has to unfortunately go through Borough of Belmar.
Where's that application coming from?
It's coming from HUD, directly from HUD.
Okay.
I would like to echo.
I would like to echo, though, that we all appreciate how hard you've been working.
Any other comments?
Barry Lubin, 15th Avenue. In addition to what Linda just said with that bridge, because I have thought of that up here before. Last meeting, you guys talked about signage, welcome to Belmar. If we had a bridge, then on both sides, in addition to any memorial we wanted to do, that would be a wonderful, quite visible place to put some welcome signage.
I think I speak for everyone up here, that would be certainly a wonderful thing to see. So, thanks for your comment. Anyone else? Oh.
Eugene Creamer, 4th Avenue.
Sorry.
I don't really need to get that. I don't need the microphone.
We want to get you on tape, so keep looking at it.
Thank you, Maria, for bringing up 12th and Main and the remediation that's going on there. I guess we're down in Belmar except for the marina and perhaps Public Works. We don't have any more gas stations in Belmar, do we? So, if you want to... Excuse me?
16th is closed, that's closed, good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, we don't have gasoline in town. I believe we do at the marina, but, you know, you see what's going on in these areas that have gotten hit by the storms. You know, I can see a situation like that developing in Belmar. Where would you even fuel up your vehicle or get gasoline for your generator? You know, there's practical problems there. Regarding 12th and Main, I'm just curious. 12th and Main is Monmouth County Route 30, And so Main Street is actually a Monmouth County road. Are we paying tipping fees for the disposal of the excavated contaminated material?
I don't know that we are. I don't know if Mr. Horace has any insight on that.
Mayor, there is a cost to dispose of the contaminated soil, and that's built into the environmental consultant's oversight and his costs.
Okay, very good. I'm just curious because it's probably all ending up over at Monmouth County. You know, this is kind of interesting. If the excavation of soils out in the county right away, would they perhaps be willing to waive those tipping fees for the disposal of the material? You know, my idea actually about that site is really not to be too concerned about excavated material. The reason being is, yes, you have to dig down, but you know, the thing to think about nowadays in Belmar, especially with an emergency management, fire department type of facility, is, did this go dead?
No,
No,
you're good.
It's good?
Yeah, I think
Oh, this is highly directional then.
yes.
Okay. There's no mic condom on it or anything there. Does it, overall, at least on the original plans that I had seen, this was going to be an excavation job anyway. A portion of that building was to be constructed below grade. And actually in Belmar here, we don't have much below grade, nothing that certainly would meet the requirements for radiation protection. If you recall, I know the grade school that I went to had a yellow sign on the corner of the building that it was a safe place to go, not necessarily safe, but reduced, offered some degree of radiation protection. Belmar Elementary School, I believe, has a portion of the lower floor that is below grade. Of course, if you're going to build an emergency services building, those are the people that need the most protection. We, of course, have our own basements in our house that we would go to. But certainly you want the people that would be responding for medical services, you would want them to have a place to go to be protected. They would perhaps be the last survivors. In any case, one thing the town may want to look into is that any tipping fees, I'm sure, are going over to Chateau Road or someplace that the county takes care of the disposal, and there may be some cost savings there. I tell you what I am concerned about the site is that any plume that's traveling from that gas station, that's all within the Silver Lake watershed. And contaminated sites like that do not get better with age. The stuff migrates, and it will go down gradient, and we have enough problems with Silver Lake, and don't necessarily need volatile organic compounds to be added to the mix.
Well, I agree, and we're really subject to what the LSRP decides needs to be done. I mean, they will do, in accordance with what the DEP rules are, they will decide what needs to be done in terms of getting rid of all the contamination. So I don't really think we have much say in, what they should do or shouldn't do. They're just going to say this is what has to be done, and it will be done. So, but I agree with all of your comments.
Okay. If you want it, you can have it.
Okay.
I'm not your business.
No, I'll hand it to the next person.
Any more comments from the audience?
Excuse me, I do have one other question, Mayor. On the payment of bills list, I did check the borough's website, and the most recent, as of this afternoon, the most recent list of bills that I could find was September 24th. Now, I see that are you actually approving, when you approve a payment of bills list, are you approving a list of categories of bills instead of the individual bills themselves?
I think we're actually,
We have the full list.
we have behind the list is a computer sheet which shows all of the checks and categories that have been issued already. So essentially, we're approving it after they've been issued. That's the way the bill list works. And I think there was April, wasn't there a last amended bill list? I think that's what I saw on this afternoon.
Yeah,
That came through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The October 8th one is on there, but for some reason it's out of order, but it is there, and then we just have to add today's.
I don't know if we answered your question or not.
No, actually, I was looking at the resolutions out in the entrance there. There's a list of categories, I'm sure, and those bills, they're not bills, they're categories.
But if you,
Okay.
Right.
if
Those
you
are
go
the
online,
totals.
though, behind that list of categories are the actual bills. And we don't put the entire list, you know, in the resolution, but it's if you go on the website, you'll see the bill list, and it'll show you all of the computer printout with all of the different payments in all the different categories.
Yeah, I did that.
Detail.
I did that this afternoon, and the latest version I could find was September 24th.
Well, they might not post it until we vote on it. Is that correct?
No, the October 8th one is there. It's just, it's not in, for some reason it's showing up before the September, not after. I just have to add the one for today.
Yeah, but today is the 22nd. In other words, are we paying a bill list? You know, where do we find a list of the bills that you're actually voting on tonight?
I'm adding it right now
Yeah, that is the,
to the web. It'll be on the website in the same spot as the other ones.
I'll find it there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess the point I'm making is, you know, if there was a question about a bill, when is it ever going to be found?
I asked that same question when I first started looking at the bill list. But apparently that's the protocol, that's the procedure that's followed. Essentially, we're approving the bills after they've been approved by the CFO. But we still have to approve it to get the payments made. Am I right,
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yeah, correct. Bill list is presented and it's approved and then they're paid.
Okay, so they're not paid yet, but they will be paid
Checks are cut.
after tonight.
Yeah, but when does the public have the opportunity then? In other words, the council will already approve it before the public has the opportunity to see the bill that's actually being, you know, proposed to be paid.
Well, I think that would happen at the comments on the resolutions. If somebody had a problem with a particular bill, then they'd have to come up and make a comment.
Yeah, but,
Because we haven't voted on it yet at that point.
yeah, but we haven't seen the bill list. That's the point I'm making.
But normally we do see
Can it
the
be
bill
listed
list.
prior?
Right. It usually is. I just forgot to list
Yeah,
this
just
one.
tonight we didn't have it there, but normally that bill
But,
list
you know,
is
if it's,
there.
you could have asked for it too, and like, if you knew it wasn't there, you could have emailed me and I could have sent it to you.
Yeah.
Normally
I'm not being
Yeah.
a nitpicker here, it's just that, you know, to bring up a bill 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month later, what's gonna, you know, that's not really,
Well, it might seem as a month late, but we haven't approved it yet. So, you know, it's all gone through the process except for the very, very last step, which is the council saying it's approved, and then the checks will be cut.
Yeah, normally the list is there.
Normally it's there, the
It's
list.
normally there, it's recapped in the resolution by category, voted on, and checks are cut.
Yeah, I do see the categories there.
It's normally, this one just didn't make it. Sorry.
Okay,
Okay, sorry.
that's it, thank you.
Okay, I think we have one more comment.
Claire Hanger, 18th and B. First thing, is there any update on the curbs for 4th and C being fixed? Four curbs?
No date yet,
Okay,
but it's.
but they won't take 6 years like Snyder and 18th, right?
What's that?
They won't take 6 years to get done, hopefully?
Well,
Okay,
I can't vouch for the 6-year part, but it's on the list and like, yes.
okay, fair enough.
Have to check the bill list.
And just talking about the bills, I'll go back about 30 years at UPS. I was bored. I took the list that IBM used to hand us and say, here's what you have to pay, here's what you're running on your machines, and we paid the bill. And I said, let's check that. $600,000 later, I got a pat on the back for verifying what we're actually paying, so just FYI.
Okay. Any other comments?
Can I
I
have,
don't think so.
can I have a motion to close the public session?
No.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next we have Resolution 2024-187. This is a resolution authorizing an executive session where it has been determined by the Borough Council that it is necessary to discuss the following specific matter at its regular meeting in the absence of the public, which is contract negotiations and shared service agreements, whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the Borough Council to exclude the public from that portion of a public meeting during which such matters are discussed. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council as follows, that the council shall recess into a private executive session from which the public shall be excluded to discuss the above referenced matters, that the scope of the aforesaid executive session shall be limited to the above matters as stated, that those matters discussed in executive session shall remain confidential until such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists, as determined by the borough attorney, and that the minutes of the closed session shall be taken and kept free from public review until such time that the need for confidentiality no longer exists, and that the regular meeting of the Borough Council shall resume after the private executive session, at which time the council may take action in reference to the topic discussed. We have a motion to authorize this resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilman Rondinero?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go into a